Hey, welcome to Happy Ass Black Boy. My name is Akili, and please do not ask why I am shirtless right now, and it is mostly because we are doing my DNA test. So I definitely want to give you my DNA. I'm fucking stupid. I have not. I'm kind of turned. Kind of. All right, so let's just get straight into it. So I had basically ordered a DNA test through Cri Genetics. Basically, the reason why I chose Cri Genetics is because a friend had recommended them to me. They don't sell your DNA or any of your information to any other parties, unlike Ancestry or 23andMe or any other ones. Basically, they just keep your stuff safe, and that is basically why I had chose to do it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, I've always been kind of like, I don't know if I want to get my DNA test done because I don't know, there was just like so many questions. I just didn't know how it worked, and I just didn't want my information to be in the hands of someone I did not pay. Like, I paid you, so why are you giving my information to someone else? So yeah, so basically we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, like we're on Zoom, and I am your instructor and you are my pupils, and I'm just gonna share my screen with you guys just so you can see literally everything that I'm doing. I just want to like walk you through my DNA. All right, so boom, is it already? Okay, it's recording already. So here is my dashboard. As you can see, it already shows my ancestry breakdown. So the way that it works is there's two different analysis that they have. So the advanced analysis is going to show you everything from more than 5 generations back, and the recent analysis is going to show you everything from 5 generations back, and then we'll get into everything else later. So as you can see already, is I am 28% Italian, which is something that I had never known. So the map, you can see that it's easily, you can like drag the map around, and the points basically show the genetic breakdown. So I have 1% from African Caribbean. Okay, I'm gonna just go through this way. So yeah, I am based off of my recent analysis, from 5 generations, I am half European. I'm 51.4%, 28% Italian, 9.1% German, 6.7% Central Slavic, 6.6% British Isles, 1% French. And then you can see that I am 46.4% African, 1.3% African Caribbean, and then I am 0.9% Chinese Dai. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my my most recent analysis. This was like one of the biggest shock. Like, I would have never thought that I would like have more than half of my DNA is European. Like, it's something I want to push back. I want to push it to the back of my mind. I don't even want to think about it, that there's some white blood in me, but there is. And from the advanced analysis, it's definitely advanced. It definitely, I want to say that it definitely shows the slave trade at its like, at its end point, at its end result, at its me. So you can see, here in the US, 3% from African American. One thing that I just really wasn't like I don't understand why it's 3% African American. Like, why only 3%? But then I think about it, and it's like, well, African American is pretty recent. Like an advanced analysis is from like thousands of years back. So it's really like the end result, if that makes sense. So you can see where I started out, and that is, from Nigeria, which is really cool. I also do have some DNA tracing from Kenya. I also have some DNA tracing from, oh wait, that's Nigeria also. I have some DNA tracing from Sierra Leone. That's from my African side. And then you can see that I have the African Caribbean over there. Let's move on to the European side. Oh, I'm just clicking around the map. I'm honestly terrible at this. um, so yeah, 94.6% African. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. Like this is a lot better than reading the recent analysis. Like knowing or hearing that I'm more European, recently than I am more African, like it's just like kill me, shoot me. So yeah. Isan Nigeria 37.7%, Yoruba 15%, Luya 13.5%, Mende and Sierra Leone 10.5%, African Caribbean 7.8%, Gambian 6.6%, and African American 3.4%. And then European, we have Northern European 1.2%, British Isles 0.9%, Northwestern European 0.8%, Iberian 0.3%, Toscani Italian 0.3%, and all of that adds up to 3.5% European. And then we have East Asian 0.6% Chinese Dai and 0.2% Japanese, 0.4% Peruvian, 0.1% Puerto Rican, and 0.1% Colombian, and 0.1% Punjabi, and 0.1% Gujarati Indian. I'm not even like, okay, I mean, that's pretty much my genetic makeup. I honestly wouldn't have thought that I would have had any kind of Asian in me. I wouldn't have thought that I had any Indian in me either. But then also, which is another thing to think about when it comes to like thousands of or thousands of years ago, there was a thing called Pangea or whatever the fuck, and a lot of the continents were a lot closer. So it definitely makes sense that I would have, Chinese or it definitely makes sense why I would have any kind of Asian or Indian mixed in with my like African ancestry and everything else. Slavery is definitely the biggest thing to happen on this planet. And I think for me to get my DNA test, it's really like opened my eyes and my brain. It's like that's all I can really like. That's what I can say from this. It's like you can see how Africans were stolen and sold and transported from Africa all the way to the Caribbeans, and then to the United States. It shows the evidence of the slave trade, how where my ancestors have been and where I ended up. So let's move on to the advanced timeline. So the advanced
fully analyzes your entire DNA sequence to determine not only your ancestral history, but its complete timeline as well. The further back we examine, the more centralized we find our ancestral lines to be. The unlikeliness of cultural crossbreeding was large in part due to pre-evolved geological landscapes and obstacles, environmental obstacles such as ice ages and glacial periods, and technological obstacles such as the overall ability.
So I'm just gonna like scroll through. So we can see that like my most recent was Isan and Gambian. And then African Caribbean from 7 generations ago, 8 generations, and then a lot of Isan and Gambians, African Caribbean, and it's also
really interesting that it's also very interesting to know. I don't know how to explain it. Like African American, I don't know.
And then all the way up to 54580 to 60580 Gambian. So I also didn't tell you guys about the cost. I'm gonna get you guys the cost at the end of the video. The next thing on my dashboard that you can access is the maternal haplo. I did not purchase this package yet, but basically the maternal haplo and the paternal haplo will basically study your lineage from your mom's mom. So your female ancestry basically from your mom's side. And then the paternal haplo group, the paternal haplo test will basically test everything from your paternal side, your dad's side. So your dad's. So yeah. I'm not even going to get more into detail on these two because I did not purchase them yet. So once I do, I will probably, give you guys, I'll probably add that, later on. But what I did also purchase was famous people.
A haplogroup is a group of people who share a collection of inherited genes that trace maternal DNA and paternal DNA ancestry lines back to a single common ancestor. Your maternal haplogroup is based on your mtDNA or mitochondrial DNA, which consists of the DNA inherited from your mother. We use mtDNA haplogroups to trace your lineage through all of our maternal line ancestors. Thus, we can trace your mother, and beyond, all the way back to mitochondrial Eve. Both males and females inherit mitochondrial DNA, therefore everyone inherits your mother's haplogroup placement. It is common to share a haplogroup with other individuals, and sometimes there may be some familiar faces and names in yours. Based on the analysis of your mtDNA, we discovered that several noteworthy individuals belong to your haplogroup.
So basically, I share a haplogroup with Ava Longoria and Mamia Juanita, and I do not know how to pronounce this, and I do not want to butcher it, but Gaodang King Corguz was the son of... Honestly, I think one of the biggest takeaways from this is probably Mamia Juanita, because I've never heard of her before, and after I did read her story, I'm just like, whoa. So basically, she's not a mummy, but she was actually frozen, and she was sacrificed to Mother Earth. She was sacrificed by being, I think they, what did it say? They hit her in the head and basically, like, froze her, they froze her. This is really crazy. This is really crazy. I really didn't think it would be this in depth, All right, so let's move on. Traits. So I'm not about to go through all of the traits, but basically, I also had bought the health and wellness package. I'm not really concerned, but I'm just really interested in what they can pull from my spit. I'm really interested in the things that they can tell, mathematical ability, if I have a perfect pitch, if I'm able to facially recognize people. I think, what is it? Honestly, the one that I really wanted to have, which was for them to test my allergies, what I'm allergic to, it was actually inconclusive, so they're not even able to tell me the things that I am allergic to, and that's kind of annoying, but it's okay. But I don't know, it's really cool, things likely to be a power athlete, the kind of earwax that I can produce, my mosquito bite size, if I have thick hair, if I'm a thinker or a doer, my stress reactivity, and it says that I have a higher stress reactivity, which means y'all need to stop stressing me the fuck out. Jesus. Let's see. What else came with my... yeah, so there are some things that are inconclusive, like my sleep movement. Um, where is the multiple chemical sensitivity? Which is this one? Inconclusive. Um, lingering effects, rheumatoid arthritis, COVID-19 severity, which is really, interesting for them to have, caffeine consumption. And they also have a lot of things on these, like nutrition, like if you're able to absorb certain things, if you're not, if you're lactose intolerant. I am definitely lactose intolerant. Do I got low iron? No, I ain't got low iron. Vitamin C absorption, omega-3 absorption, calcium levels, folic acid. I don't know what half this shit mean, but I really don't. They also do have things on weight loss and metabolism, which is pretty cool. They're basically telling me that, I have increased fat storage. I got thunder thighs, I got an ass, they're just trying to tell me I'm thick without really. They're trying to tell me to not get fat. That is what they're telling me. Moderate difficulty. I honestly don't really care too much to share too much on like the health and wellness, but I don't know. So, yeah, this is my DNA. This is indeed my DNA, and the only part that I will denounce is the European side. Everything else, solid, beautiful. I am a work of art. I am life. I am godly consciousness, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy and very satisfied to know my results. And I definitely do encourage you, if you do have concerns, if you do have a curiosity for your DNA test, I 100% recommend it. I do recommend Cri Genetics because they will not sell your DNA like the others. But I will say that I am thinking about doing an Ancestry or 23andMe, mostly because I want to be able to accurately pinpoint people that I am related to. So I just want to give that a chance, but at the same time, I don't really care for it anymore. Like I was accurately able to trace a slave master in my family, and the way that I was able to accurately know that it was them is because they showed his wives. One of his wives, he had like many children and all these white children or whatever. And then one of his wives, it read Peruvian something. And so when I look at my ancestry, it says that I have Peruvian in me. And then my mom was talking about how like we do have an ancestor who looked like Mexican. She looked like, Native American or something like that. And I'm pretty sure that that's her that they're referring to. And that's like, it's like really crazy. Like the way I was able to trace this was I basically made all of these accounts on WikiTree or whatever, or WikiTree. I made an account through WikiTree. I made an account through Ancestry, and I made an account with background check company that will that you basically pay to get like a background check on any human being. And I basically used all three of those to, go back and forth to, be able to trace, the ancestors of my ancestors. And that they need to find the slave masters in my family. I was able to find the slave masters for actually both of my family, for my mom's side and my dad's side. My mom's side did have a picture. I'm not exactly sure if I'm comfortable with sharing it, but I also just might. Yeah, I don't think I'm comfortable with sharing it. Yeah, I was able to find the slave masters on both of my sides, but my dad's side, there wasn't a picture. There was only, like names and like just people. So I did accurately trace on both sides, but on my mom's side, I had a picture. So it was just, I was able to be more sure. But on my dad's side, like, I'm pretty sure, like, what I found was what I found. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That is my DNA. That is my DNA. This is how I have become. I think, therefore I am. So in total, I definitely did pay $130 for my DNA test. The $120 covered the ancestry analysis and the traits and wellness, and $10 was for the famous people. So if you do want to do, your DNA test, I definitely encourage it. I also do encourage you to sign up for their mailing list, because they will send you, discounts, just like Ancestry and 23andMe and stuff like that. Like, they just offer like these exclusive deals if you sign up for their newsletter. So I definitely recommend doing that first if you just want to, like, pique an interest in it. And then once you have, enough funds, do it. Figure out where you're from. See where your family from. See where your family from. Love yourself, love your family, love where you came from. Like, be proud of that shit, because honestly, it's a lot to think about for me to be here because of slavery. Like, it's honestly like really crazy to think about that. Like a lot of all African Americans are African American because of slavery, and a lot of people were born because of slavery. And like, knowing that and processing that, as, a black, processing that as a person, like, it's really like hard to like it's really hard to understand like the hardship, like, my ancestors had went through, and the people that came before me had went through, just just for us to end up in 2021 and niggas is still tripping and still racist. Like, it's really crazy. So yeah, I would honestly love to travel to a lot of these countries that I'm from. I would love to, travel to Haiti. I would love to travel to Africa. I would love to travel to, South America. I would love to travel to, Asia. I would love to travel to India. I would not really be that excited for Europe. I'm not that excited for Europe. And that's just that on that. Thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, I definitely encourage you to watch them, especially my dance videos. Definitely check out my last video, which is me talking about dating and how fucked up it is nowadays. You know.